We will start off with our first source with a simple and quick reading and translation of the Gemara. Rav Gidel hamehapech behahi ara. Rav Gidel was trying to get hold of a particular piece of property. Ozel Rav Abba Zovna. Rav Abba went and bought it. Ozel Rav Gidel kivle l'Rav Zera. Rav Gidel went and complained to Rav Zera. Ozel Rav Zera v'kiblei l'Rav Yitzchak Nafcha. So Rav Zera went and complained to Rav Yitzchak Nafcha. Amalei, he said to him, Hamtein, wait ad sheyale etzleinu l'regel, until Rav Abba comes to us for Yom Tov, and I'll discuss it with him then. Kisolik, when he went up, Ashkechei, he encountered him. Amalei, so Rabbi Yitzchak said to Rav Abba, tell me, Oni mahapech becharora, if a poor person is trying to purchase or to get hold of a charora, a cake, ubo achev anotla, and somebody else comes and snatches it away, heimenu from him, what is his status? Amalei, Rav Abba responded, Nikra Rasha, he's called a Rasha. In which case, said Rabbi Yitzchak to him, Ve'elomar, if therefore you, sir, my tama ovid hachi, why did you act in such a fashion? If you realize that it is unethical. Omalei, he said, Lo have yodana, I was totally unaware that Rav Gidel was trying to get hold of this piece of property. Says the Gemara, so he said to him, Hashtanama neisva nehalei. So now that you are aware, you should sell it to him. Neisva nehalei mar, you, sir, should sell it to him. Omalei, he says, no. Zivune loy mezavnina la, I don't wish to sell it. Da'ara kamaisahi, because it's the first piece of property I ever purchased. V'loy mesamna milsa, and it's not a good simon to sell it. But, boy, if he wants, b'matona nishkele, if he wants, he can take it as a present. Says the Gemara, Rav Gidel loinachis la. Rav Gidel didn't want to take it, because it says v'soine matonas yichya, somebody who hates presents shall live. On the other hand, Rav Abba loinachis la. Rav Abba didn't want to go and live into it, live in the property mishum tahafich bar Rav Gidel, because Rav Gidel was trying to get hold of it, and therefore retrospectively Rav Abba realized he came about it by unethical means. So a strange situation ensued. Neither one of them went down to live in it. And it was called therefore the land of the Rabbanon. That is it was Hefka, as Rashi says, it became Hefka l'Talmidim. It was Hefka for everybody. That is a simple reading of the Gemara. Let us now try and deal with the two main opinions as to how to understand this Gemara. So the first is to have a quick look into Rashi, because Rashi is very important as ever, but certainly over here. So the Rashi that we want to focus on, there's actually two Rashis we want to focus on. The first one is, if you follow the cursor, is this one over here, Oni hamehapech becharora. So that is the language that Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha used when he challenged Rav Abba. So he said, Oni hamehapech becharora. It literally means a poor person who is endeavoring, literally means turning over, but it means a person who's endeavoring to get hold of a charora, a cake. Says Rashi, Mechazer achareha lizkois ba min hahefker. He is going after it in order to acquire it from its current ownerless state. Oi sheyitnenu lo balabayis, or that he should be given it as a gift by the owner. If somebody then comes and takes it, Nikra Rasha, he's called a Rasha. Says Rashi, why? Rashi gives us the rationale. Sheyored lechaye chaveiroi. He's interfering with the livelihood and a potential source of income for this Oni. And therefore, according to Rashi, it makes no odds, it makes irrelevant whether it's a purchase or getting it from ownerless or indeed getting it as a gift. So according to Rashi, Rashi is the strictest opinion. Rashi says the remit of this concept of Oni hamehapech becharora being considered somebody else jumping in and taking it away from him it applies across the board. It's irrelevant whether he was only trying to buy it or he was getting it from Hefka, from a state of it being ownerless. It's irrelevant. That is Rashi's opinion. Now, let's have a look at Tosfos up here. Tosfos says as follows, and I'm just going to try and make it a bit bigger so that we can see it clearer. There we go. Wonders of technology. Says Tosfos, Oni hamehapech becharora uba acher v'notla. Pirish b'kuntras. Says Rashi, Demairi becharora shel hefka. This is a reference to a cake, as that was the example. It's irrelevant what it was, but it was hefka, according to Rashi. It was something that was previously ownerless. Says Tosfos, I will show you two sources that this is not so. V'kosha. This is difficult. Mehadisnan b'shnaim oichsin, from that which we've learned in a Gemara in Bava Metzia. Ra es hametzia v'nofal loy aleho. It's actually a Mishnah over there. Somebody saw an ownerless article and tried to acquire it, but did so, unfortunately, in a manner that is not a valid method of acquisition. So what did he do? V'nofal loy aleho. He fell on top of it. Oy shapiris talisa aleho. He spread his cloak over it. Uba acher v'notla. Somebody else comes and takes it. Hari hishaloi. It's his. It's the second person's. And there's no indication there that the second person has done anything wrong, that he's called a rasha. So that is a challenge to Rashi's view that the concept of Oni hamehapech becharora applies also to a previously ownerless article. That's challenge number one. V'chein hodika oma hosam, and similarly, that which it says over there in the Gemara over there, mishaliket miktsas hapeya. Poor people are entitled to go and take the corner of the field that has been left. So somebody went and he was going to take some of the peya, the corner of the field, upiris talisai aleha, and he spread his cloak over it. Says the Gemara, mavirin oisai hemenu. We take it away from him. That's not an appropriate thing to do. Asks Tosfos, Vamai, why should they take it away from him? How can you take it away from him? How can you? Okay, it's true. Maybe it's not a valid method of acquisition, but how can you take it away from him? He clearly is no worse than the fellow who's trying, than the Oni hamehapech becharora v'amai. How can the Gemara say over there that with that we take it away from the fellow, the Oni, that is trying to get hold of it by putting his talis over it? But surely, v'amai Oni hamehapech becharora, who surely he is the classic case of an Oni who's trying to get hold of something, and he's shown that he's expressed an interest in this item, and yet we take it away from him, and there's no suggestion there that it is wrong to do so. Surely, to do so should be a rasha. So on the basis of these two challenges, Rabbeinu Tam rejects Rashi's pshat. V'omer Rabbeinu Tam, says Rabbeinu Tam, de isur de mahapech de nokat hocha loy shayach elo davka kasharoitza ha'oni laharviach b'schirus o kasharoitza liknois davar echad v'chaveiroi makdim v'koina. Let me go back over that. I've just read it. Says Rabbeinu Tam that the prohibition of mahapech that is mentioned over here is only relevant specifically and exclusively in such cases when the poor person wishes to make a profit through rental or wishes to purchase something, and somebody else jumps in and buys it. V'havyudum yudu Rav Gidl, in such a way that is similar to the case of Rav Gidl. But umishum hacha ka'oma denikra rasha, and it is for that reason that he is considered a rasha. Ki lama mechazer al zois shetorach bo chaveiroi. Why are you, the second person, going and trying to take something where the Oni, the first person, has put some effort into trying to acquire it? Yelech v'yistaker b'mokoim acher. Go and make profit elsewhere. When one yid has expressed an interest and has tried to make a business work in a particular piece of property, and then you come along and take it away, you're a rasha. That's a terrible thing to do. Avol im hoisa hacharora dehefka. But if this item in question was previously ownerless, leka issa, there is no problem whatsoever. Sheim loy zacha bezois lo yimtza acheres. Because if you won't take this particular one, you can't say go and get another one. Go and make your parnasa elsewhere. You won't find another one. Because by its very nature, the very definition of an ownerless item is something that you cannot anticipate and you can't put any effort into trying to acquire. Okay, we'll stop there for the moment.